YouTube, what's up? Riz here, and I have my NFL All-Pro team for you guys today. I'm gonna do this every year. It's gonna be a little different than other All-Pro teams you might have seen, like the AP. And I'm gonna talk about some snubs, maybe guys that aren't being talked about enough, or maybe at all. So let's get into it here. Starting with quarterback, my quarterback is Matt Ryan. Pretty simple one for me. I know Tom Brady did very well this year, but he missed some games, and that's a factor for me. And Matt Ryan just leading the way in every category, just completely dominating. He'd be my MVP pick as well. So pretty easy for me there. I had Matt Ryan, my running back, and this is where I'm going to get a lot of hate probably. I have Jay Ajayi. I know Zeke led the league in rushing, behind the best line in football. Other guys, Le'Veon Bell, missed games. David Johnson, great player. I've seen him in the AP. I didn't really take him into consideration, even though he's a great running back. To me, Jay Ajayi is the reason why the Dolphins are in the playoffs. A big reason why, the main reason. He also leads the league in yards after contact, which is a very, very important stat for me. He's a guy that's going to run you over. Like Zeke doesn't really have to do that because his line is so good. I think if Jay Ajayi was on that team, he'd do just as good, if not better. So if I'm going to war, if I'm going to a game right now, I want Jay Ajayi on my team. So the yards after contact was a big factor in the way that he led the Dolphins to the playoffs is huge too. So that's why I got him there. Down to receivers, I got Antonio Brown, arguably the MVP, best receiver in the NFL. Easy one there. I have T.Y. Hilton, led the league in receiving yards. I think he's an underrated player. I think he makes Andrew Luck a little better. People think Luck makes Hilton better. I don't think that's the case there. Hilton is a rare wide receiver because he can play outside and he can play slot very well, and so he can do deep routes, he can do short routes. Very impressed with T.Y. Hilton the last few years. And then I got Julio Jones on probably the best offense in football, at least in the NFC Falcons. He had that crazy game against the Panthers. This was tough, though. Odell's another option. There's a few guys you can say here. Mike Evans, touchdown machine. But I'm pretty confident with my three. I like my three. Down to tight end, pretty simple. Travis Kelce just was at the top of the league in receiving yards, and he's a tight end. It was pretty simple one. Might be the best player on that Chiefs offense. Very good team. On to the linemen. Pretty much, you see a lot of Cowboys here. See a lot of Cowboys, best line in football. Tyron Smith missed a few games, but if I'm starting a franchise right now and I'm picking my tackle, I'm going Tyron Smith. So I had him. I like Taylor Lewan out of Tennessee for the Titans. Very good season. Jack Conklin was also really good over there. I went with Lewan. Center, Travis Frederick, another Cowboy. Zach Martin at guard. Very good run blocker. And Kelechi Osemele from the Raiders. Raiders had one of the best lines in football. He's a big reason why they went out and signed him this year. Pretty simple stuff there. And the D linemen, going to be a little different than what you've seen. Starting at the top, Danielle Hunter, defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings. Not a lot of people know this guy. He's actually a back. He was a backup. He gets more snaps than the starters, but he doesn't start the game, which is odd. He leads all defensive ends in sacks in the NFL. Not total. He's like third or fourth in total sacks. But out of all the defensive ends, leads the NFL. He also leads the NFL out of all players and total yards lost from sacks. He also has a touchdown to go along with that. So I really like Danielle Hunter. I think he definitely belongs in here. The other DN, Khalil Mack, pretty obvious one. Great player. Has a touchdown as well this year. D tackles, Damon Harrison is by far the best run-stopping D tackle this year. There's some other good ones, but no one's really close with how many run stuffs he has. And that's just a big factor to eliminate the run when you play a team, so he definitely deserves a spot. And then Aaron Donald. It was between Aaron Donald and Geno Atkins. Aaron Donald gets the edge because of his pass deflections over Geno Atkins. So there's my defensive line. On to the linebackers. Middle linebacker Bobby Wagner leads all football with tackles. Pretty simple one there. My outside linebackers Vic Beasley leads the NFL in sacks. Von Miller would be second in that. Vic Beasley looking like a bust after last year to some people. Comes out this year, and a big reason why the Falcons are as good as they are. So those are my linebackers. Didn't really have to do too much thought into this one. Those were pretty clear to me. On to the defensive backs, and this is where it's going to look a little different than like the AP or Pro Football Focus, whatever, all pro teams. Starting with corners, my number one corner, Xavier Rhodes. This one, he's probably my biggest snub out of all the all-pro teams. He's mainly what I look for in corners is lockdown corners. I prefer lockdown corners over a guy who's going to get beat or get interceptions. And Xavier Rhodes has the best passer rating, or the lowest passer rating for quarterbacks in the NFL, if that makes sense. Lowest would be the best number for corners. So he has that by far, and it shows that he's a lockdown corner. He's in the top 5 in completion percentage. He's a lockdown corner, but he also has 5 picks to go with it. So not only has he got that lockdown corner factor, he has 5 interceptions, which the leader has 7. And that gets to my next corner is Casey Hayward. I went with my lockdown corner with some picks as my first one. My second one, I'm going with the pick leader. You get 7 picks and lead the NFL. Obviously, you're a good corner. I know he does get beat sometimes, but if I'm going for my ball hawk, that's going to be Casey Hayward this year. Safeties, Landon Collins, definitely the first one in there. Go look at the stats. He's just all over the place. Tackles, he's up there for defensive back tackles even, and he just lights up the stat sheet, and that's really not what it's all about. He definitely shows it on the field. Big reason why the Giants defense was good this year. And then my other safety, Eric Berry, always good player. He beat the Falcons. Eric Berry beat the Falcons. So that was very impressive. Good year for them. Good year for Eric Berry. Now we're going on to the special teamers. Punt returner, Tyreek Hill. It's just very impressive at the end of the year there. Kick returner, Cordero Patterson leads the league again in kick returning. Punter, Pat McAfee, and kicker is pretty obvious. Justin Tucker had a crazy year. Had him in fantasy. It was just ridiculous what he does. He just by far better than any other kicker. So special teamers, pretty simple stuff. That's really what it should be. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know I'm probably going to get some arguments started. But please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. There's more NFL videos coming your way. Enjoying doing the draft videos, more of those coming, mock drafts. So that'll do it. Goodbye.